Alright, so welcome to Kerbal Space Program Hard Mode Episode 1. In this series, I will be playing with 10% science gain and 50% money gain. My plan for this episode is 1. Don't kill Jebediah, and 2. Make a craft that can execute a low polar orbit so I can farm contracts. Okay, so let's get started. First, I'll go to Mission Control and grab the 2 easy contracts. Now, heading to the vehicle assembly building, I will attempt not to kill Jeb on the first launch. First, I will throw down a Mark I command module, then my personal favorite engine, and probably the best in the game, the Fleeg. And I guess he can have a parachute as well. And we do need science from this, so there will be 3 mystery goo containers on board. Alright, I believe it is looking good. Actually, maybe a little lower. You know what? Never mind. Let's just put it on the top and get out to the launch pad. First, we do actually need a name. After a very long thought that I don't feel like cutting out, you can see I've settled on Jeb's shitbow. I mean Jeb's rocket Mark I. Alright, this time let's actually get to the launch pad and make all of Kerbal kind proud. A trick I wish I knew sooner was that if you take a crew report, you can actually go on EVA and take the report out of the module, then get back in the module, and it will allow you to take another crew report. I use this trick so I can get a crew report 3 times in this flight. And here we go. Hold on tight, Jeb. The wrong way. I want to tilt to the west so I can actually land in the grassland and get science from an easier biome to maneuver than the ocean is. You can see a moment ago I used my second crew report so I can get one while in flight. And now that we are safely back on the ground, we can actually get a bit more science from this biome, such as a mystery goo observation, another crew report, and an EVA report. Oh, and also if you just jump and take an EVA report, you can get it from flight. You can see that now I am performing the sacred art of the in-flight EVA report. And let's get back to the Space Center and see how much science we got. Alright, we got 4.2 signs. That is absolutely dog shit, not gonna lie. In a normal playthrough, you would have gotten 42 signs from that and doubled the money. With this, I can't even afford to unlock a single science node since the 2 base ones cost 5 science points. For this next launch, it is more or less the same, except I will be sending Jeb to the ocean this time, so he can gather some extra signs from there. So I will fast forward this so you don't have to watch the exact same thing again. Next, I accepted a contract to escape the atmosphere, and after countless attempts of me lowballing this mission and attempting to barely scrape the Kármán line, I made it to a suborbital trajectory and got the contract done, as well as gather some science from the upper atmosphere in space just above Kerbal. And here is a sped up clip of that's flight. And that is why we have quick saves. But after the safe landing, we had finished the contract as well as gotten some science along the way. So I decided it's probably a good idea to get advanced rocketry to unlock a liquid fuel engine and a much better solid rocket engine, so we can hopefully get to a low orbit. And as you can see here, I started working on making a rocket that can get us to a low orbit that also reaches a high orbit at its apoapsis, so we can reach science from high orbit. And by the way, this is me building at real speed. And here is the finished product, an absolutely dog shit rocket that would not surprise me if Jeb died for the second time here. Also, don't mind the explosions, it's all a part of the process, according to the team at the KSC at least. And now I am waiting until we are at apoapsis to start my orbital injection burn. I am also praying we brought enough Delta V to do so, and it is looking tight. We may not have enough fuel. Now I am securely in orbit, but I still do want to get that high orbit for the extra science. And there we go, with a whopping 11 meters a second left of Delta V, we reached a low/high Kerbal orbit. The engineers are going to have a field day with the science that comes back with us. such as how the mystery goo behaves with no atmosphere surrounding it. Does it boil? We may never know. And now, another thing I was not aware of when I started is that there is a contract to return from orbit. So you can collect that before returning to Kerbin for some extra funds and reputation, helping you in the long run. And here is a retrograde burn to bring me back into Kerbin's atmosphere for a hopefully safe, decent... I was actually contemplating if I should turn on max G-force that Kerbals can withstand before blacking out, since I think that would be pretty funny. Until it causes me to fail a mission, then that shit would get turned off. And here is the re-entry and landing with the beautiful Firefly mod, making the re-entry effects look absolutely amazing. And back at the KSC, I am greeted with 9.3 science. Then I find my knight in shining armor. 2 contracts, both wanting me to take 4 tourists on a suborbital trajectory. And one thing leads to another, and I end up with whatever the fuck this thing is. Somehow this thing works. It goes up, it goes down, pretty much all you could ask for from a rocket. Granted, a softer landing would be appreciated so Jeb can have kids, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. And with that somehow not ending in disaster, we do it again for the other 4. I then accept contracts to take crew reports above 17 kilometers, so I take this as an excuse to make the polar orbit craft. So here's another clip of the rocket being built. That is pretty much the exact same craft, but with more fuel. And here is the final flight of the episode with this shit-ass rocket. Again, the explosions are intentional, you need to believe me. And I make it to orbit with 2 meters per second of delta V remaining. After farming contracts for about half an hour, I decide it's time to come back down, but somehow the 2 meters per second left isn't enough. So Jeb has to do it the old-fashioned way and get out and push like the little bitch he is. And for the end, here is a shot of Jeb re-entering the atmosphere. I plan to do many more cinematic shots once the rockets get bigger and more complex to up the production quality. Till next episode, goodbye.